They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
On the floor for Detroit, Jennings runs the point with Jackson flanking him. Marcus Morris is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Well, with Nerlens Noel coming out, we knew he'd be a plus shot blocker. He set the Kentucky single-game record with 12 in a game shot blocks. He also knew he had the chance to be a great rebounder, but we definitely knew he needed help with his shot, and that will continue on into next year.
Yeah, you know, he spent the year rehabbing that knee, but also spent that year correcting his shooting form. And we're not talking about just a tweak when it comes to shooting the basketball.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Okafor comes in for Joel Embiid. That's Thompson in for Nick Stauskas. And Detroit with a change here, too. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Pistons trail by 4.
And, you know, going back to Nerlens Noel's shooting, the improvements to his form look really good. Even better is that he hit 60% from the line as a rookie. That may not sound like a great start, but at this stage of his development, that's great progress.
And stolen by Drummond. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
The 76ers leading by 4.
You know, one caution I have about Noel's improved shooting, you don't want him to fall in love with jumpers. He did shoot only 46% from the field last year. Conversely, DeAndre Jordan shot 71% because he dunked everything and kept his head under the rim. It's a fine line between improving your game and playing within your limitation.
The 76ers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Covington kicks to Noel. The pass to Jackson. Jackson is doubled. Back to Noel. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Thompson with the bucket.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
It's Drummond with the drive. It's tipped and stolen by Noel. Up the floor. Jackson passes to Noel. And stolen by Ilyasova. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And Philadelphia calls time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And it's sent back by Drummond. Outside, Meeks. Rebound by the 76ers. The 76ers struggled last year, but it was mostly due to their offensive issues, Greg. At times, they could be okay on defense.
No doubt, Kevin. They've got a good group of rim protectors, and they also knew how to force turnovers, but they have got to improve offensively.
Roten's checked in for Robert Covington.
Yeah, you know, Philly would finish right in the middle of the pack in terms of defensive rankings. They knew how to make stops, and they've got some good defenders, too, so not surprised they were fairly solid defensively.
And the big thing that stuck out for me for the Sixers, their turnovers forced. I mean, second in the league in steals per game, fourth in the league in block.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
It's Drummond, high post. Fades. Rebound by Marshall.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Roten, no good.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Okafor, the shot's good. Marshall making the play. And that's 10 points for Jahlil Okafor.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Stauskas comes in for Thompson. Jennings with the bucket.
He got off to a slow start. It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but he's turned it on here in the second.
Now, here's Marshall, defended by Ilyasova. Landry gets the bucket. Landry's got the lead up to 6 now for the 76ers.
What a pass by Marshall. That's outstanding teamwork.
Jennings dishes to Drummond, and stolen by Roten. Oh, and here we go with Marshall. Nobody back. Good. Marshall's got his second basket of the night.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
And it's Drummond missing.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
Pistons trail by 8. Pass break Detroit. Here's Meeks. Finished off the break. 29 seconds left in the second quarter. And Marshall kicks to Embiid. Here's Roten. This is to Landry. Misses in close.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Here's Jennings. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. Now just a 4-point 76ers lead. Now here's Roten to the left side wing. And here's Stauskas from the arc. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. 76ers lead by 4. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, they're playing some unselfish basketball here tonight, Ernie. Guys aren't trying to take the defense 1-on-5. They're moving the basketball and finding the open man. And then, of course, the open man is finishing, so no problem here tonight.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
Their transition game was really strong. It really fueled them, gave them a big injection of energy into their offense. If they can maintain that fast style in the second half, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.